Every once in a while I get to see some things online which absolutely blow my mind. Like this tiny little speaker from X Mini. Now I was just looking for some weird Bluetooth speakers online. I just wanted to see what are the different options other than our standard speakers which we usually buy. And I came across this whole series of small Bluetooth speakers specializing in high audio quality in a very pocket friendly size. The first thing that caught my eye was the Elari mini Bluetooth speaker. I forgot the name, but it was out of stock. And the nearest one to it was this one, the X Mini 2, X Mini Click 2 Bluetooth speaker. Look how tiny it is. As soon as I saw it in the pictures, I had to get one. And I have to tell you, the phrase which says like dynamites come in small packages, it's kind of true for this one. To me, it just doesn't make sense. The size is so small, but the audio output is so powerful. It makes me wonder, like all the other big speakers that I have, why can't they produce a much higher output if this tiny thing can produce equivalent output? As of now, the smallest and the most pocket-friendly Bluetooth speaker I have, which is something that I use every day, is this one, the Move Acoustics A Star. It's pretty good. It has a average battery life and really good sound quality. It gets very loud. So I use this in and around my room, around the house, whenever I want to listen to podcasts, music or whatever. But this thing, look at this. I mean, this thing gets almost 75% or at least 60% as loud as this thing. And the size difference is staggering, isn't it? The design is very simple. It has a very solidly built aluminum, I assume it's aluminum, unibody design on the outside. No buttons on the sides, so you can comfortably hold it without accidentally pressing anything. There's just a tiny rubber seal kind of a thing on the back, which is a single button. It's the power on off button, which also doubles up as your music pause and play button. Unfortunately, double tapping it only increases the volume. It does not decrease the volume, like it doesn't decrease it in a cycle, or there is no option to skip songs either. So controls are fairly limited, but then again, this is something that you carry in your pocket when you are out and about, and you just want a little bit better audio than your smartphone speakers, but you don't want to carry headphones with you. And believe me, this is much better than your smartphone's built-in speakers, unless you have a Razer phone or something which has fantastic front-firing speakers. If you're like me, who's always watching videos on the go, or even while having lunch in a very noisy cafeteria, if you forgot your headphones, then these are great alternatives. Like you can watch this with a bunch of friends and all have a great time without having to sacrifice much space in your backpack, or even in your pocket for that matter. The thing that I was most concerned with when it comes to these tiny speakers was the battery life. And when I first took it out of the box, I started playing music immediately because I don't follow instructions that you have to charge it as soon as you take it out of the box. But it was on low battery, I assume, and I immediately started blasting my music through it. It died halfway through one song. So it kind of left a bad impression on me. But then I remembered the battery in this has to be charged over time, because maybe it has been sitting in that package for a long while and depleted its battery. So I charged it up overnight. I didn't have to do it overnight because it only takes around 1.5 to 2 hours, but I plugged it into my slow charger, which I keep it around for charging my Bluetooth devices, and it charged up fine. So from the past 1 hour or maybe 1.5 hours this morning, I've been playing music on this at almost max volumes through my shower and throughout my morning routines. So it was just fine. There was no interference or there was no signal loss, even though the bathroom and the phone from a hall were separated by quite a bit of a distance, and there was also a wall in between. So even though this is tiny, Bluetooth range is not going to be an issue. As long as you have your phone at least around 10 to 15 meters radius between 1 or 2 walls, it will still work fine. I did notice that after playing music continuously for over an hour or so, the outside aluminum shell, it slightly got warm. It wasn't anything to concern with because you're not going to constantly hold it on your hand, right? You're going to place it somewhere. That's the point of this rubberized bottom, that you have to keep it somewhere. But I don't know, I never noticed any of my other speakers get warm after a while. Maybe something to keep in mind, although it did not affect the performance in any way. I'm just putting it out there that this thing can get slightly warm to the touch. Talking about the sound quality itself, I have to say it's very good. In fact, it's much better than what I expected from this form factor. So if I rate the sound quality on 4 factors, that is the volume, treble, bass and mids, I would say volume wise it's 10 out of 10. It's amazing. Like you would never expect that this tiny thing can produce that level of volume. Bass, again, 8 out of 10. It's fantastic. You really feel that someone's in there hitting up with a hammer, like it's trying really hard to dish out bass, and it's trying to defy its own size. So that's really commendable. Mids are also pretty good. I would say it's around 9 out of 10. You can really hear the mid tones very well. The only area where this slightly falls short is the treble. I would say it's around 5 out of 10, because I played some of my tracks which I usually listen to with my earphones on, and obviously it's very easy to like identify different notes in music when you have earphones. I was expecting a track to hit treble now, but it was completely silent, and I had to like physically move the speaker next to my ear to hear that it's actually, yes, it is playing treble, but it is having again trouble with treble. There is one issue I noticed with the mini speakers. They kind of struggle with the high amount of treble in music. Earphones usually have no problem with that. In fact, earphones excel when it comes to treble, because treble is something which does not travel very far. Earphones are normally placed at a couple of feet away from our ears, so they have to like work extra hard to produce equivalent treble effect as compared to some in-ear earphones. I suppose we can, give this the benefit of the doubt. Although I really wish that they had included a skip song feature somehow, maybe a triple tap of the button or a long press or something, because sometimes I don't want to listen to the music which is playing right now and my device is somewhere else, because usually I carry this in my shower, and a skip song feature would have been nice. I can increase the volume, but I cannot decrease the volume. Again, I know I'm asking for a lot in this miniature form factor, but it would be nice, something to think about. X Mini guys, please make that happen. So if you are interested in checking this out, I'll leave a link down there in the description. It's priced around, I think around 1500 rupees, I'm not really sure. But this is a fantastic purchase if you are someone who like listens to music on the go on a speaker. So yeah, I have a few more products to talk about in this channel, so if you'd like to see what's coming up next, you can consider sticking around. I'll leave a link for my tech blog down there. It's dopetechfever.com, where I write written articles about stuff like this. And to end, I'll play some music on this and leave you to it. I'll see you next time.
Just walk right out the door. Don't wanna do this anymore. Now I'm lost without you. You drive me crazy out my mind. How'd you do this every time? Now I'm lost without you. You still be the one I talk to when I'm sad. Can't you see now tainted love is all we have? Our issues run so deep, now when I try to sleep I feel so bad. I should leave, and by the time it's